Hello, everybody. It's me, Mr. Hernandez, with good vibes over everything. I hope you had an amazing week. Week two down. I think y'all are doing an amazing job. Y'all are doing a great job with the amount of kids that we have in the building. But these kids are coming. These kids are coming. So make sure you have your procedures in place. Make sure you have your current kids bought in to your classroom expectations, because remember, I mean, you get more buy-in from within than it comes from above. So make sure that your kids are taking ownership of that. That way, when you have 12 or 15 in your classroom, it's not an issue. Okay. So a couple things I wanted to talk to you about today is, first of all, the Leap Foundation. So I know I sent out calendar invites for an event that we're having next month. So for those who don't know, the Lamar Educational Awards Foundation is the coolest foundation where you write a grant, you think of a project. I would love this for my kids. I would love this item, this experience for my kids. You put in the application, and then all of a sudden, if you get chosen, they show up to the campus with a big old check, like this big, that has your name on it. It has the amount of money that you requested, and it gives you the funds to make that project a reality. Okay. And so I myself won a Leaf grant back in the day. Okay. This is a couple years ago at Lamar Junior High, where I had just tables and desks or whatever, and I turned it into flexible seating where I had like massage beanbag chairs and yoga ball chairs and all these things, right? And it was an amazing, and it really transformed my classroom. It was really nice. If I remember correctly, it was like a grant for like $3,800 or something like that. Something that I would have never bought with my own money, right? But I was able to get it through the Leaf grant. And so this is what's happening. So I remember the year prior to that, I remember seeing all these people from George Ranch High School win these Leaf grants. Like, man, it was just so many Georgia, Georgia, like it was all these teachers winning. And I was at Lamar Junior High, and like I don't think anybody won a grant that year, right, from Lamar Junior. And so everybody's complaining about it. And then when I asked my building principal at the time, Mr. Jaster, he's like, "Okay, but you have to put into context that here maybe 3 or 4 teachers applied for a Leaf grant. George Ranch High School, everyone was required to fill out a Leaf grant. It was an expectation that you were going to fill out a Leaf grant. And you play the numbers game. You figure 20, 30% of applicants are going to win. So if you have all of your staff fill out a Leaf grant, then all of a sudden maybe 20 to 30% might get selected. So we got to play the numbers game. So it is going to be a campus expectation that everybody on campus fills out a Leaf grant. Okay. And so you got to remember that for an individual Leaf grant, it is $1,500. That is the max. Okay. And then for a department, it is $4,000. Okay. Now we are unique in that our teachers are essentially the compartment, because it's compartment by grade level. So essentially, Mr. Johnson and Miss McLean are not a department. Mr. Johnson is a junior high department lead. Miss McLean is the high school math department lead. So that's $8,000 potentially for their departments. Also, potentially $1,500 for Desmond Johnson, $1,500 for Sharika McLean. Okay, so we're talking for 8, 9, 10, talking about $11,000 just for 2 teachers. So we're in a unique position to do that. Okay, so we have to take advantage of it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is actually the director, the Leaf Lady, the new Leaf Lady is Miss Camila Lewis. She is gonna do a tour of campuses. But now other campuses, it'll be like, hey, she's gonna go to, let's just say, Wright Junior High, and all of Silver Track and maybe all the elementaries have to go to that one session. So all of a sudden, we're talking about all these teachers with one person presenting. She's gonna come just for special sites to give you tips and tricks on how to fill out your Leaf grant, things to avoid, pitfalls that cause them to grab the application and throw it right in the trash. She's going to give you all these strategies to make you as successful as possible. Now, remember, these are blind submissions. You're not supposed to put where you're from. You're not supposed to indicate or hint that we're from ALC or from 1621, JDC, JJ. You don't hint at any of that. Okay, you just put in, this is a project I want for my students. This is the reason why I think it'll positively impact them. This is how many students it'll impact, all these things, right? And they look at it, and then if it fits all of their rubric, if it's going to be great for kids, approved, approved, approved. It's not until once they approved, because they got the money, and these are her words, not mine. They got the money. If it's going to be good for kids, they're going to cut that check. Okay, so instead of us standing out in on the side wondering why we can't get some of our projects funded, we're going to take action. Okay, so Ms. Lewis is going to come on the 5th from 3:15 to 4 o'clock. She'll be in the 1621 Commons. Since everyone is expected to fill out a LEAP grant, everyone is expected to attend. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I already had some declines. You might want to go back and change it. Okay, because you're gonna be the first one crying, "Well, why didn't my stuff get accepted?" And then all of a sudden you forgot that you mentioned that you're from ALC, and they throw it right in the trash. So no, I need everybody here. I need everybody here because it's important, and I want us to be successful. And I'm gonna tell you, the spotlight. There's a bit of a spotlight on special sites that I see. Eyes are on special sites. What is it that we do here? So let's make sure that we're not dropping the ball and we're taking advantage, and we're making sure that we're believing the best, and that we're going to get this done. All right. So moving on, let's talk lesson plans. All right. So lesson plans. I'm going to start really checking these. We're all going to start checking through our T-TESS split. If you do not have your lesson plans in on time, you will be getting a friendly reminder at first. And then if you still continue to not turn them in on time, we have to have a different conversation. But I want you to remember, when you're doing these lesson plans, I don't need a minute by minute detail. I need, when I walk into your classroom, what should I see when I walk in? What am I going to see in the middle of the classroom? What am I going to see at the end of the class? Okay. And so I just need bullet points. This is what you should see when you come here. Okay. This is how I'm going to do it. And then that's it. Okay, so when you're planning your lessons, think about these four things: goals, actions, demonstrate learning environment. What do you want students to be able to know or understand by the end of the lesson? Okay, how are you going to break that down to help the students reach that goal? How will you and your students know if they achieved it? And then what are you doing physically to facilitate that learning? Okay, so I need you to remember that even though I want you rocking and rolling and working hard, you shouldn't have to work that hard. Okay, you should be able to know, what do I want the kids to know by the end of the lesson? You should be able to give instructions. Hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we're learning about, and then go. You're giving the task to the students. Remember, when the classroom door closes, these kids should be having academic conversations. Okay, they should be talking about the content. Now, I'm not telling you let them talk for 30 minutes and then see what they learn. No, you structure it. Hey, turn to your elbow partner, and then this is what we're going to talk about. Go. Okay, now you and your elbow partner, whoever is taller, go ahead and stand up and tell me what y'all talk about. And then they are teaching the class. If they are saying something that's incorrect, that's when you facilitate. Well, actually, remember this, A, B, and C. Okay, now, and then you move on. Okay, so let the kids do the work. Okay, you're working too hard. Okay, and then with that being said, okay, T-TESS, our Texas Teacher Evaluation and Support System. You're going to start to see very soon, probably within this next week, you're going to start getting T-TESS invitations. Okay, and so that's for us to start talking about your T-TESS goals. All right, and so as a reminder for some, and then for FYI for our newbies, this is kind of the cycle. Okay, so first it's our goal setting. Okay, so you need to be able to set a goal. Okay, and so you have to learn how, and remember, the goal is not for your students, it's for you. How are you going to grow professionally this school year? For my new teachers, you got to stick to classroom management. How am I going to manage these kids? That's usually what we stick to as for new teachers. For more veteran teachers, you should be able to be self-reflective. What do I need to grow in? What's a growth area for me? Okay, and then from there, we'll call you in for your pre-observation conference. Okay, um, what am I going to see when I go? Because you're going to plan out a 45-minute lesson. You're even going to tell me, I want you to come third period. This is what I'm doing from start to finish. I'm going to ask you some questions. And then, okay, cool. I'll see you on that day. And then it's the observation. I'm going to go in there for 45 minutes or for the length of the class period. And then we're going to meet afterwards in your post op. Okay. This is what I saw. This was fantastic. Maybe next time, think about perhaps approaching it this way. Okay. And then from there, it's your end of the year conference. We reflect on all of your walkthroughs from the school year. And we say, you know what? I think you're rocking it. I give you your evaluation. We talk about it. And then we move on and we plan on for next year. Okay. So just keep that in mind. That's definitely coming up. It's very important. And for those that are new that have never done a T-test code, we'll talk about it. I mean, I'm gonna probably send something out to where we have like a little workshop. Make sure we're all on the same page on this. All right. So before I leave y'all, I know this is good vibes over everything. So I wanted to say something. I gauge what the culture and climate is as far as our kids and our teachers, but I talk to the kids. I talk to the kids, and in my short conversation with a lot of our kids, they're loving what y'all are doing. Okay. I haven't heard nothing but great things. Okay. The kids are responding well to you. Because I ask them how things in so and so's class or in this person's class or that class. Oh, yeah, she's cool. Oh, yeah, he's great. I'm comfortable in there. I like talking to him or whatever. These kids are honest. If y'all don't know that, these kids are very honest. They're going to tell you. You just got to ask them the right way. All right. So keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate all of you. I feel like we're getting off on the right foot. Okay, just we our expectations are here. We can't lower them. We got to be here. As a matter of fact, we need to go beyond. Okay, so have an amazing day. Keep doing what you're doing. You know where to find me if you need me.